Ed, we're going to talk more. We'll talk SpaceX, Musk. We'll get more. Thanks for that update, Charlie Pellet. I want to get right back to Ed Zitron, the CEO of Easy Primary Research, who joins us here in the Bloomberg Interactive Brokers studio. Ed, we're going to talk more. We'll talk SpaceX, Musk. We'll get more into the nitty gritty, but sort of an existential question first. Last time you were on with us, we got a really incredible response, to be honest. And a lot of people who weren't typical viewers or listeners of our show saw what you did and listened to what you did. And it really seemed like there's this, what you're saying is resonating with a lot of people. Like it was almost like there's this anti-AI fervor that's out there. And I'm just curious why you think that is.
So I'm not sure it is anti-AI, don't get me wrong, but I think it's also anti-financial shenanigans. I think everyone sees the circular financing. I think they see that Microsoft, Google, and Amazon gets basically all of their AI revenues, either through products they're pushing on their customers or indeed compute spend from Anthropic and OpenAI. And the average person's existence right now is so expensive, so hard, so difficult. Getting a mortgage as a regular person is so difficult. But if you're standing up a theoretical data center in 36 months full of NVIDIA GPUs, the banks fall over themselves to give you the money. CoreWeave just raised, what, a 9% bond? I mean, you can raise anything if you have a data center. And I think regular people can see that AI does not deliver what people promise. They can see the opulence of the people at the top of the AI industry. And they can also see that they're being lied to and being deliberately scared on top of all of this egregious circular financing.
So you think people are actually lying? Or do you think people...
Specifically?
I don't know. Is it the companies at the hyperscalers, the CEOs, the bankers? Do you think, and to be fair, we really should reach out to everybody. But I mean, is that what you're saying? That
I believe,
or do they not really know?
I think they're overstating things. Okay. I think lying would suggest a certain malice, what have you, that I don't want to accuse anyone of. But I believe that they are massively overstating what AI will do. You'll notice that AI people tend to speak in the future tense. They tend not to say, oh, well, today it can. It's always AI will, AI will. Oh, we're going to get the singularity. Oh, AI will do this and that. That's because when they talk about what's happening today, it's pretty mediocre outside of code. And on top of that, these things are horribly unsustainable and unprofitable. And on top of that, they've got these destructive data centers, these massive eyesores that poison black communities. These massive eyesores that need billions of dollars at a time when it's hard for a regular person to get a dime from the banks. So yeah, I think that there is beyond just the misleading, this general sense of unfairness that AI taps into. And on top of that, if this all goes pear-shaped, these people are going to realize that there was an authority crisis happening, that so many people got beguiled by hyperscaler promises. And what it ultimately is, and I'm quoting Ed Elson of Prof G Markets here, our media, I believe, has a cult-like worship of the wealthy, that they believe that whatever the wealthy says will come true. And in the past with the tech industry, that's kind of come true, except it stopped really coming true about 10, 11 years ago. And we exited the era of hypergrowth. And that's all AI is. AI is an attempt to restart hypergrowth for hyperscalers who don't have a new Google search, who don't have a new iPhone, and certainly do not have a next Amazon Web Services.
The narrative and the conversation, though, around AI, I mean, we've been covering it from day one. I can remember, the Microsoft and OpenAI investment, and our world changed in terms of every conversation that we've been having. But as of late, easily the last 6 months, maybe longer, this idea of return on investment, which wasn't there initially. If the companies weren't, their CapEx wasn't growing, they weren't spending, every company wasn't talking AI, you got punished. Now it's getting a little bit more discriminating, if you will, or specific in terms of looking at cases and what are we getting at. We had an investment advisors earlier, and she said the same thing, companies are starting to look at what is the cost of tokens? What does it cost to have all these models for our employees? What are you using it for? Really? Just do that on your own. So the conversation narrative is changing. Don't you think it will continue to change and it might be uncomfortable in terms of how it plays out in financial markets?
I think
because as the reality comes, in your view?
Yes, I think this conversation is only going to accelerate. OpenAI didn't cut prices because they found some mystical way of making things cheaper. It makes something 80% cheaper. They saw the danger from China and they saw the competition from Anthropic and they said, well, we're allowed to burn billions of dollars, so why don't we just cut prices and then make it up in volume for an unprofitable product? I think the ROI conversation is only going to accelerate too, because We should have really had it years ago. We really should have had it immediately. But again, people believe everything the tech industry says, and they just thought, well, they wouldn't say this and be wrong, would they?
Where, in your view, does Elon Musk and SpaceX fit into this conversation? I bring it up because we learned this afternoon that Elon Musk's net worth has fallen to $684 billion, which, yes, is a lot of money. It has erased, though, the IPO gains from SpaceX. And we haven't been with you. You haven't been on with us.
Still the world's richest.
Still
if
the
you
world's
go to
richest.
Rich Go on the Bloomberg.
Okay. You haven't joined us since SpaceX IPO'd, but there's a data point there for, at least in the short term, reception to a public company that has pretty significant exposure with AI.
Well, I think SpaceX is kind of the proof point you need. We have someone who can sink unlimited capital into this, who can hire anyone, who can theoretically stand up as much capacity as possible, breaking multiple laws at the same time, not getting the permits. And what did we get for it? We got Grok. And what is Grok? Well, it's a third, fourth, fifth tier LLM that really only some people use by accident when they turn on Twitter. So we have this thing where we've had our third Anthropic and OpenAI. We've seen someone else try it. We've had what should be the proof point that AI is an industry, that we can have many AI labs and, 1,000 flowers will bloom. And what we have is manure. We have a company that loses billions of dollars to do what? I don't know.
So should the U.S. be in an arms race with China for AI?
No. I think that the arms race with China in and of itself is a marketing ploy. What? Oh no, what's China going to do? Make a cheaper and better LLM? Uh-oh, it already happened. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. China.
What about the security risks that these LLMs or some of these agents are exposing, those from OpenAI and those from Anthropic?
Well, I think the biggest risk with OpenAI and Anthropic's agents is they don't appear to do basic security practices. They don't appear to take care of how they're using their systems. OpenAI say, I actually question this entire story, that their agent ran autonomously for multiple days, burning what sounds like unlimited compute. Either this company is run so terribly that they were running up millions of dollars of bills to randomly do stuff, and also they don't watch what it's doing. Software does what it's told to do. We don't know the prompt, we don't know the training, and they're not releasing the model.
But it doesn't change the fact that these agents reportedly found weaknesses in code that, if not exposed, or that could be vulnerable. Like, what I'm saying is, if there's an idea that if this gets into the wrong hands, then systems could break down. Briefly.
One thing, it's already in the wrong hands, OpenAI and Anthropic. They've shown they do not have the responsibility to make security tools. They should not be making them. They don't know what they're doing. It's blatantly obvious. And on top of it, they brute forced a hacking agent. They shoved as much compute power into it as possible. You can also pay hackers to do that. It's illegal. Also, this all sounds illegal. I'm no lawyer, I'm no judge, but I don't know why they're allowed to do this. Yeah, these things are dangerous if they're allowed to be trained on cybersecurity measures and execute against them. I find the whole thing repugnant because everyone is saying, ooh, look at the scary LLM versus looking at the companies that run it.
We got to run 20 seconds. Anything that would change your mind and make you say this is real quickly.
Not really.
No. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. There was a lot of conversations this week, and it was great to get your input. Ed, thank you. Ed Zitron, he is CEO, EZ Primary Research, right here in our studio. We got to talk about this Time story.
Yeah, breaking news coming from the New York Times. The Federal Reserve, or rather Kevin Warsh, is considering reducing the number of regularly scheduled meetings at which the Fed sets interest rates. This from the New York Times. I want to bring in Kate Davidson, Managing Editor of U.S. Economic Policy. She joins us from Washington, D.C.